With all the major changes we've made on our land over the last 2 years, there's one season that never fails to remind us that nature makes the rules, and fire season waits for no one. So, before we can keep building, we have to protect what we've already created. And this is the project that could save everything. It's like a seashell. This is the first time you guys have seen this whole setup. We're Brittany and Drew, two hopeful adventurers who got married and after 8 years of van life, found our dream property and moved across the globe to Portugal, where we're now documenting the journey of transforming this historic watermill into our very first home, not on wheels. Now, let's take in a deep breath. And let it out. Let the adventure begin.
All right, we are starting a grand project today, something I've wanted to do for a very long time. We got my dad here and my cousin Noah, fresh from Hawaii. And what are we gonna be doing today?
We're gonna start up the top, but this here's where the well is. It feeds up there, and we have water lines going up and down. We're gonna put T's and stuff in here so we can feed the house sprinklers for if there's a fire. We can feed ones for the garden, and we can also feed ones for the
safety of the container and shade structure.
So if there's ever a fire and there's no water, you got giant tanks up there that will feed this with 8,000 liters?
Per tank.
Per tank.
That's exactly it. We're fitting all the outdoor plumbing, which is perfect because Noah used to work on one of the Navy ships and was a plumber. So
right back at it.
we brought experts to the job today. Let's get to it.
We got diggers and shovelers.
Diggers and scooter riders.
Yeah, all
and
that.
And this is something you're saying you've been needing to do for a minute, huh?
Yeah, so all these tubes just got laid kind of in a hot mess when Nelson and I finished bringing the water lines back end of last year. And we had kind of a pond going here. We had some issues with the pump overloading. We've now upgraded the transistors here, added some more fittings, and got all of the water that was coming up with the water pressure from the ground flowing back out this tube over here, away from pooling where it was in this section.
So we have those two go up all the way up to the tank. So one of them is our feed. We could pump and fill the tanks. The other one comes down here, but we're gonna 90, and then we're gonna go into a T here. That one goes out there to the
behind the house to the back.
This
container.
one here goes that way, so we got to put another T over here to tie this one in. So what can be done? Power goes out. That's when you're gonna use that.
Okay. And that's why you had those tanks put up there up high.
Yeah, because we knew then there'd be the water pressure
right
down at this lower elevation.
Yeah, okay.
It's also crucial to know that we've topped up the tanks prior to the power being shut off.
Okay.
So not only is it going and cutting all the trees in the area, it's making sure the water systems are developed.
But we
out.
also know that to fill the tanks, from what you said, 4 hours to fill them about?
Yeah, muscle
Each?
menos.
Because you
could always be pumping from the ground.
So you might as well sprinkle things before before the fire. I keep thinking hurricane because that's what I was through. You know, before it, you kind of prep things, getting them wet, keep, kind of going back and forth, and then all of a sudden the power goes out. You're going to shut that off, and you'll open over here. Yeah. And then, I forgot, there's going to be 2 valves here on off because we need one for the house, one for the garden, so we can shut the garden off. Because
we want to be able to separate the zones.
When it comes down to fire, you're saving the house over the garden. The garden is the most important.
Yeah.
Or the house is the most important. Not the garden and the shed. I mean, not that you don't want them, but you need to make sure.
Yeah, the houses.
Yeah.
How many gallons are tanks up there?
4,000 total gallons.
Okay. 1 liter is 3.78.
Yeah, so just 4.
Or 1 gallon is 3.78.
I have another little project in the garden, and that is to cover the soil with straw, because as we know, the summer months here in the south of Portugal can get pretty sizzly and hot, and we want to protect our soil and mostly our lettuce, our strawberry babies. Straw is the magic ticket to being able to blanket and kind of like tuck in our garden so that the soil stays nice and moist, the plants stay cool, and it'll help everyone thrive here. So a lot of you have mentioned that in the comments. It was always part of the plan things just sometimes take a little bit longer to get to. And the reason we use straw is because it doesn't have seeds like hay. Another great tip a lot of you have given us is not to allow the straw to touch the base of the trees. Otherwise it can sort of create rot around the bottom of the tree. So just something to note. Oh, look who's really come to help now.
Well, I really like what you're doing right now, but I'm gonna have to stop you.
Oh.
We have to dig a trench for putting the new sprinkler line down through here,
Whoa.
which is super exciting.
Wow, is that all happening in this episode, or?
To be determined.
I think I'm just gonna put some straw anyway, and we can dig the trench through it.
That works too.
Okay. Okay, Minu.
Minu! This will be really good for the soil to protect it.
Exactly. I should have already done this, but it's okay.
I do wish we had a couple more bales of straw, but we'll make do with what we have left over from last year's gardening sesh.
That's what, yeah. A little something. And Mom was so nice to label our garden. We'll have to add some Portuguese names, but for now,
Morongo.
perfect. That's right. Like a little blanket that keeps everything nice and cool. Minu approved. Although I think she did like rolling around in the dirt a little bit more than the straw. Right? But that's okay. There's enough dirt everywhere else. We got it around the base of both of our kiwi vines that we will build trellises for, as well as this is either our almond tree. I think this is our almond tree. But we ran out of enough straw to do the other three over here, which I think we'll eventually have to move. But anywho, look under here, guys. We have our first cucumbers. Like, these are pretty big and hardy. I've never grown my own cucumbers before. And now when the guys get the irrigation line through here, our garden's just gonna be going off. Exciting times ahead.
We've dug our trenches.
Which one is what?
And we've got our taps on the tank. However, this one has a big crack in it that we're gonna have to repair.
So we got to take and line from here to here, put a T here, take this one, put, you know, like a 90 and come into this.
Yep, and get it all
Go
buried.
this way. The other one, we're going to come up here, we're going to go over there. This is the feet coming back up here and go up, drill 2 holes in,
Yeah.
so we can feed both tanks to fill them at the same time.
This will be the fill line. Here.
Right on there.
Oh, open that.
Oh, there we go.
Serious amount of water.
Wow.
So you guys wouldn't necessarily know this, but Noah lives in Hawaii. Why do you live in Hawaii, and what's it like living there?
Why do I live there? Well,
What took you there, I should say?
Well,
He
the
grew
mil-
up in
the
Michigan.
military took me there, but it was like after the contract was over, it was like, where am I gonna go now? Like, am I gonna go back to Michigan in the cold? Life was so good there. Had like, you know, a foundation of friends, locals, non-locals. So it was like, I'm gonna stay here and go to school. You know, if you're gonna go to college anywhere, you know.
And
why?
you took up surfing, which you loved.
Yeah, surfing kept me there, and so yeah, I was like, I don't really want to give that up yet.
And now he's here enjoying a European vacation, and he said when he came here he wanted to do some work, so that's exactly what we're doing. We're putting you to work.
Earning my keep.
Earning your keep, sir.
Earning my keep.
Yeah, right here we're going to install a T and cut this pipe so that it connects for the water going out and down the hill. And right here we're going to put on the L to connect to this joint. There should be a big T down in here.
Oh, I got it right here.
You've got the T?
Oh, you already grabbed it.
Oh, look at that. He's sneaking up on us. Hey! What are you up
Good
to?
morning. Now I'm going to go pick up my gluten-free bread.
We're making good headway.
Good.
We're enjoying our time together.
I know.
It's not
fun.
just about the work.
It's about the bonding time.
The camaraderie.
Like Boy Scouts.
Oh, go get your gluten-free bread.
Okay, love you.
Have a safe ride. Love you too. I mean, it's pretty thick and durable stuff. I mean, the farmers leave it out in the mountain fields all the time, just the basic cheaper pipe, but that's a much higher rated pipe.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut the blue one because this is the one we're going to use for here then.
We're going to tee that off.
Yep. We'll get some white, a little more white tape.
I always forget, it goes on clockwise.
Yeah. No, that is right. Okay, I got enough wraps already. There we go. Give it just one little. Go ahead, Noah. Give it one more, as much as you can. I'm holding it so it's not forcing backwards. That's probably good. The good thing is, with this stuff, you can at least get back to it.
All right, while they're working on that section of the tubes and the piping, I'm gonna try to get all the caulk out from around here and dig this out so we can reapply the adhesive and get this fitting to hook into the tank without leaking. Look at this, you can see there's a leak coming out from the tank, which means we're gonna have to empty this all the way down, clean it up, and refill it eventually.
Drew is actually applying the same waterproof and UV proof and nearly everything proof caulking that he originally used, but this time he's just trying to do an extra good job on this hopefully not going to leak again fitting.
Yep.
All right, how's it going, fellas?
We're getting there. See, we're just trying to make it back to about here.
Like 48 hours ago, I was at Buckingham Palace.
And then you
This is nice.
gotta go down the manhole. Okay, I am sweating like crazy. It's so humid down in this tank. And I just broke off my X-Acto knife. But I think I've got it all the way jiggled and cut through. All right, try twisting it. There it is. There you go.
filming?
No, I'm not. I'm filming.
I'm not sure. Splash water the second you do that.
That's okay. Prepping our drill bit right now. Getting locked and loaded. Boom. You guys who've been watching our channel for a long time might be remembering when I had quite the dilemma and I was trying to drill the bases of these grand water tanks. Then I learned the easiest way in order to do it was add a little bit of water, because it just makes that drill bit go into the concrete like butter.
You know what this little hose reminds me of? Remember those carnival games where you have to like squirt in the middle of the target? For as
The
long
horse
as you
race.
can? Yeah, it like felt like that.
Okay, ready?
It's a three-man job.
Ready?
3 men and 1 high-capacity power station by Blue Eddy.
So we are going to drill the top of this tank here, as well as the top of this tank. These guys are going to do that. Noah's going to spray it. My dad's going to drill. I'm going to be down in the tank with a bucket, collecting all the debris as it gets pushed through.
This is the Elite 200 V2, which is ultra portable and has a super capacity and super output.
Okay, now for drilling, because all you gotta do is spray right where where's drilling. Okay.
This super portability, along with its ability to power 9 devices at once, or for our purposes here, the hammer drill,
I mean, if you see the drill bit, at least yell.
it makes the Blue Eddy Elite 200 V2 ideal for outdoor adventures, RV life, and off-grid projects. Also, the turbocharging feature gets the Elite 200 V2 to 80% charge in just 1.1 hours.
Just move the battery pack closer, just so we got.
You can see we got a nice clean hole here. The guys did well. I was underneath catching everything with the bucket. And now it's time to drill into tank number 2. What we realized is that if we drilled on the side like we intended to a minute ago, we were going to lose about this much volume of water across the 2-meter diameter of the tank. So it was best to go from the top in, and we'll seal it in the future once we put up our metal tubing up here on the top. That'll make it fireproof. So we're going to drill right into here. But what that means is I got to go down into a half-full tank right now. Thank goodness there's no anacondas, zonkies, piranhas.
But before we join Drew as he goes down into the tank again, we want to show you how the Elite 200 V2, which is outputting nearly 1,000 watts here, has helped us to power all sorts of important projects, like using the heat gun here to melt the fittings for our new drip line for our garden. And here it's helping us power the Sawzall for cutting out some extremely tough roots that were ruining our stone wall. And it also powered the jackhammer for breaking through some very rocky ground as the guys laid our elaborate on-grid, off-grid irrigation and fire safety design on our homestead. Made possible by Blue Eddy and Dad and Drew. So, to support our channel and see how Blue Eddy can help power your life in new ways, check out our link below. And speaking of below,
It's half full.
Oh my goodness.
That's really really so deep.
Yeah, this is like 3.5, 4 feet
Yeah, I was
deep.
looking down in thinking it wasn't that deep.
The water should be warm.
Yeah, it's nice and
Get
clear
your
down
ass
in
in
there. Cowabunga, dude. Oh, my shoelace, dude, that scared me so bad.
Snake!
Did you set that up?
Oh. How is the water?
Actually refreshing. Glad this isn't our drinking water source.
Yeah, no peeing in there.
I was thinking about it.
How far away from the...
Dude, I'm waist deep.
How far away from the wall?
Alright, here we go. The projects I get myself into around here.
Ready?
Ready? explaining the light. The design of the light fix on the tank looks so cool. We're at a very good stopping point for this section of the project at the upper tanks here. We're gonna let the opening that I pulled out the fitting dry before we try to put any bonding or caulk to it. We've got the holes drilled up top, pipes tidied up, things cut. Now it's time to head down to the borehole, to our well. And there goes the scooter boy.
Dude, the suspension on this thing is crazy.
Dude, it's so good. Go, 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 go.
Okay, so
That's
right
okay.
now we're running on that tank. Hey, you got dirt right there.
Hey.
You have dirt right there. Dirt. Oh, yeah.
But you got some dirt right there.
Yeah, dirt. I'm getting the dirt. You are actually dirty in those spots.
Am I really? Just a little floater from out in the tank.
I know, I got
That's
all
some warm water.
Yeah.
Wow, we could, I mean, we could somewhere. You know the camera's been watching? You know something really funny is that when I was a little boy, I'd be out mudding, riding the four-wheeler out in like the dirty, muddy fields, and my dad would come home from work and spray me off with a hose. So we were just joking around, reminiscing about those days.
Well, that can just be, you know, I'm just trying to straighten it out, get it out of our
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
And we need to take that fitting on there.
Pull, pull, pull. All right, we gotta take this fitting out.
Nope.
That metal piece is super tight, probably.
Okay, let me get another pair of chains.
Ultimately, the pump in our well down here is connected to our 2 water tanks above, which can gravity feed the lines in case of an emergency. And so basically, here the guys are installing shutoff valves and using T's and elbow connections with the goal of shortening the hoses so everything can be placed neatly underground and water their respective zones, as they explained in the beginning of this episode.
All right, we're gonna make a cut right there. Ready?
Yep.
I've also been learning about the process and design of everything throughout the editing of this episode.
There.
I think I'm pretty tight on this side. Well,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I hit right or not.
So we got a really long way, got this all joined, put in a shut off, and we're gonna come back and finish these up another day. Made good progress. Nice work, boys.
We're getting there.
Nice work, Scooter Man.
Just giving you guys a nice peaceful view of what our summer river scene looks like in comparison to what it was during the raging winter months. I mean, it is raging. Jeez. A little bit more peaceful. That and the first time we have seen a 9 as the first number in the Fahrenheit temps. And that can only mean one thing. The guys are taking a break and we are going to the beach. I'm so excited for this. Welcome to Arifana. This is one of the best surf beaches.
What's nice is this cliff protects the northwest wind that's chilly, so it keeps everybody quite happy. Is this the spot?
Spot. success.
Very successful.
Very successful.
Manja.
Manja. Yes,
Well earned.
that's right. Estoy conforme.
Should I hold a little bit to take the picture?
I thought you were gonna beat somebody up with that.
Yeah. Someone wants to play or bad behavior.
Yeah.
Vão a pedir.
Fun. Oh, obrigada.
There it is. You gotta know.
Oh, this part's still. Is that tight down there, or we need to?
Yeah, we tightened that one.
Okay, tighten this one, Noah. Okay. Okay.
All right, one perfect size tube coming up.
You want the flow inside not to be hindered.
We've had to cut a bunch of small sections out here to put between our fittings. So we had a really tiny one right there, a little bit longer piece over here, another section, and we're completing the bit right here to put the 90 on. We were all having a good laugh a minute ago, sitting around this whole contraption we've created, and Dad was saying, you just gotta do it like this. And we were saying, you just sound overly confident, and that's why he's the boss. So in life, these guys are saying, make sure that you say things with confidence, speak clearly, like you own the place. This was a tool that my parents brought back from the US that we couldn't locate here locally in Portugal. These channel locks have been a game changer for this project, rather than just a big pipe wrench. As we were sitting here, we're talking about so many topics about the different tools we're using, and I was just talking about how the Portuguese are super resourceful and take a lot of the older things here and make them work for functionality and repairs. And Noah was saying it's very similar on Hawaii from his experience.
Can't look that way.
That way. Yeah, people in the islands, just because of how isolated it is and can be expensive, you know, there's just not as much resources out there. They just get more resourceful the same way that I feel like the Portuguese do. Keeping things, even though they're not new, you can still use it later on or make something out of it. And it just kind of like adds to that simpler way of life and just a more resourceful way of thinking.
Yeah, rather than just going out and buying something new.
Yeah, because like sometimes like you don't have the nicest hardware store on an island, and you make it work, and they become really good craftsmen, you know how to live off the land, know how to MacGyver things that are gonna save time and money and resources.
You were saying with surfboards or vehicles.
Yeah, a lot of my friends, they repair surfboards. Like, it doesn't matter if it's got a big ding or a crack in it, like we can fix it. Like, we'll do it for you. You don't need to take it to, you know, one of the big shops. Like, we can do it right here in the parking lot before we go surf.
Okay.
It's sunny enough out. We'll let it dry and then we'll go surf.
Go hang 10.
Think that's good?
I think that's probably pretty good.
We realized this is the perfect three-man project because we've been holding the fittings. One of us has been tightening. The other goes and fetches tools or cuts pieces that are needed. So grateful to have a team on deck for this project. And if you guys are also wondering, the sun is so intense in this area throughout the next months. We're going to build a little temporary house to keep everything shaded, protected from the sun, the elements, make little boxes for the valves that will be out here. That way it's accessible amongst the gravel that we put in, and eventually we will build a really cool little unit or structure over top of what will be our well pump and our well house.
We're done. So the heat of this will take the tensions off. It'll soften the pipes today, and tomorrow we'll turn it on and see if there's any leaks.
All right.
There won't be any.
It's a plan.
Ready?
Not bad for a 65-year-old.
Oh, my foot's caught. My butt's dirty.
This is what you come to visit me for.
Yeah.
Nice work, team.
Okay, we're done.
All right, done down here. We actually got to go to step 2 on day 2 up at the top, and we're going to seal in that fitting that we took out at the base for the water to exit the tank, because it should be dry up there, and give it a full day's baking in the sun to dry up so we can come back again on day 3. What are you doing now?
Trying to make it a little rougher in here so that the caulk will bond even better. Just little chippies out of there will do a big difference.
Yeah, to prevent that leaking that we experienced with the caulk. And what have you been doing over here?
Cutting up our little tube.
Fitting.
Yeah, just so, you know, just scoring it so that maybe the caulking will just kind of bond to it more a little better. So I just kind of going through there.
Tearing it up a bit.
Cuts. Real simple, something I can handle. Instructions pretty clear from Uncle Tim over here.
We're using the dinosaur caulk once again.
Try squeezing.
All right.
Let's see if it goes. Oh, yeah. Okay.
My bad.
Okay, you got to
There.
push the button behind it. Push the steel, yeah. Otherwise it's going to keep, okay, there we go. Okay, so I would say go ahead and start putting caulk on it. I'm going to be kind of spinning it now for you. So you're just dropping it on there. Bigger bead. Get closer to the pipe. Yeah, there you go. I mean, I feel like we're putting a lot of caulk on it this way.
Heck yeah.
And I'm dragging it in, I think. Good, Noah. You're good. Stop. There's a big booger here. Pull it. I'd say you're pretty good.
All right, we got the caulk on. It says it'll be dry in about 20 minutes to touch, but it really needs a total of 24 hours. So we're gonna let it sit in the sun for the day. And this is basically resistant to water, resistant to UV, and for exterior. So got the right stuff here. Thanks to Mr. Dinosaur for his efforts.
Hi, kitties. Are you happy? Big yawn. He's so cute. Mr. Tom. Venus. You're such a good girl. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're such a good girl.
All right, day 3 of the sprinkler project, the water lines. The boys are back out here and we're getting at it. We're gonna test the lines, make sure all the valves are open and put pressure on the whole system and see if we have any flaws or leaks.
Now that I turn the water on, I'm going to feed our fill line up top.
Hear the bubbly?
Let's go.
We're filling it all the way up there, sending the water up about 35 meters right now.
Good filling.
So far, so good.
Hopefully at the garden we're going to have water shooting out.
All right, hit it, Poppy.
I can hear it going.
That's open and she's a-flowing.
Okay,
All the way down.
let's go.
Rigger. See you at the bottom of the slope.
Bottom. Copy.
10-4.
10-5.
Hit it, Scooter Man. Got steady flow at the garden.
This is one thing I will say, don't hammer them closed like boom. At least not here at first.
Our garden's gonna be very happy to have a water system hooked to it. Recently, we've been using buckets of water from the lagoon to water everything. This one's gonna shoot out over our roof.
See, there's air. I hear it.
Oh yeah.
Trying to... See, there might still be some air in the line, and that's the thing I don't know.
You can hear it gurgling a little.
Yeah, that's why I say I'm not sure there's not...
Quick, we're running.
Okay, well, here.
Yeah, she's gushing. Noah, we got a waterfall. Well, we got the water system working. We just need to put a cap on the end of this one. Shut off. Well, that'll save the house in a fire season situation.
Wildfires don't stand a chance.
I mean, you guys know you get them out in Hawaii too.
Yeah.
Yep, it's those dry seasons that are a killer.
Not when the Newman boys are on it.
And
Nothing for us.
proactive and ahead.
Proactive. Dry season coming up here?
Yeah. Just kind of part of the season and part of the beauty of this natural environment.
It's kind of a temporary for now.
Yeah, let's just put a shut off on this.
Ooh, I think it did it.
Look how much water is still flowing this springtime. Really shows you the difference in the volume of rain we had this winter. They've said a lot of the dams in the area have 3 years supply of water, and we can definitely attest to that given the volume of water still flowing behind the mill right now. It is purely a sanctuary, a little piece of paradise. All right, open her up. She's off.
See where the leaks are.
So we just redid the fitting, the turn off, the shut off back there, and we're good at that end behind the house. And now we have some leaks up here, so time to get at this. You can see right there, one of our leaks.
Here, I'm gonna get to the other side there.
This one was leaking right
Yeah,
here.
I was
Yeah,
feeling it.
here.
It's-
Oh man, what a mess.
And some of them, we may have to take them apart. We had to take that last one apart. You know, well, right now we're only from here to here.
Yeah.
But you got water dripping. Shut that valve off through right there for a second. Okay, we're gonna open this. Let's go the opposite way. Let's see. Turn it.
I stopped.
Okay, nice.
We're done.
Yeah. Do you think there's more pressure coming from the pump when it's open or from the tank up high?
I would think the tank up high.
So to give a final overview, we got the pump here, the line to the house that can be isolated separate, the garden and fire lines going this way that can also be filled from the pump or from the overhead water towers, the fill to go and fill the water tanks up high, and then a basic garden hose right here. We're doing a little organizing of all the tubes before we start throwing some sand in here now that everything's been tested and things are connected. And these red lines are for future automation. We're gonna run wires through, but it's important those are in the ground before going to the garden, going to the house, going to our fire line this way. So just kind of doing one final organization and cleanup before we start dropping sand in here.
Progress doesn't always look like construction. Sometimes it's just about doing those things that help to protect, organize, and add even more value to what's already been done, which our guys have done an excellent job here with this project.
This is helping to pack around the pipe.
Yeah, big time. I realized that I want to seal up some of the masa that had been used to join the tanks in the past. That looks like there's a bit of some seepage and from the outside discoloration as well as on the sides in here. So I'm going to show you how I'm painting and sealing that up. This area over here I've already repainted and touched up, but on the side, just these little baby spots. No one's going to come down here and join me. Hope you're not claustrophobic. Oh, hang on, good thing I got the boots on. Here, you can be the camera guy.
Camera guy.
So I got my mix already made here. We're just kind of pasting it on the wall here, just like so. Covering up any little cracks there are. Nice and sloppy. All the way around. And while he's finishing that up, I'm gonna put a little caulk around the back of the seal of the fitting we put in on the outside the other day. You can see it's right there. Everybody, like this video, if you think Noah's doing a great job, we'd love to give him a little bit of praise and appreciation for all his hard work out here.
Thumbs up, YouTube.
Smash it. How's it going down there, dude?
Doing good.
When you put your head up here, you just feel like the coolness. It's really steamy in this pipe.
I've been saying all day it's hot outside.
You can see you're sweating just a little bit.
It's hot here.
Did you sign your autograph?
Yeah,
All right, sign away and let's get out of here.
little.
And then, love it.
Okay, but there we
All
go.
right, every time I come back in here in the future, I'll know that you were down here helping
Down
out.
here.
All right, let's get out of here.
And the trespass.
Wow, that temperature difference. Come on up, dude. There you go. Isn't that crazy, that air difference? Like, what?
We did it.
To sort of speed along the process, the guys did not actually film when they installed all of the tubes and fittings to connect our 2 tanks so that they could fill via an overflow system, but Drew is about to explain everything to you here as soon as we open up the valve below to fill the tanks via our well and pump. All right, we are going to start to fill the tanks. Wow. Look at how nice and organized our new system is.
I like that everything's underground right now. Pulling about 8.8 amps over there.
We gotta go to the top.
All right, let's do this. Whoop.
Left that one open.
Yeah, you can see the tanks are filling though.
You can hear it. It's like a seashell. You can hear the ocean.
I also just went back through and sealed these tanks so that they're watertight from the inside and out.
And this is the first time you guys have seen this whole setup. So this is basically what connects the 2 tanks and allows them to have like a spillover.
Yeah, it's basically like a T, so when that one fills all the way up and this one, because they're connected in the ground right here, they equalize because they're at the same altitude.
And our plan is to replace all of the fittings with a steel version of the entire setup that you see here.
These ones right here.
Yeah.
These will all get covered with blocks and dirt, so these won't be exposed.
Oh my, look at this bug. Wow, he's so green. Cool. I was gonna say we unfortunately couldn't find any of the fittings in steel here in Portugal. They were only in plastic, but we will be going to Spain next month, so stay tuned. Hopefully we can find what we need in steel so that this whole setup is fireproof.
Yeah, steel is just a lot more expensive and they just don't have it down here in the Algarve.
I don't know where he went, but I don't want, oh there he is. I just don't want to step on him. But now let's go down to the garden and show them how our new drip line system works.
Each of these tanks take about 3.5 to 4 hours to fill, so we're gonna let them fill overnight and we'll have full tanks in the morning and a watered garden. Let's go.
It's amazing. Work smarter, not harder.
Oh.
But although in order to work smarter, not harder, you do have to work pretty hard because this project was big.
Yeah, this has been multiple parts. Started with Nelson helping us dig these trenches the end of last year to get the lines installed, and then making the boxes, the valves, having my dad and cousin here. Big thanks to them for helping me tidy up all these pipes and tubes.
It was really great seeing you guys work together. It was cute. Hi, Kenny. You followed us? Did you follow us? Shane! Come here, buddy. Come on, to the garden. You want to help? I love her little basket. So Drew and his dad set up our drip lines in like 3 sections. Whoa. This one waters our main garden. This one waters like our potatoes. And I think this one waters like our kiwi and other fruit plants, our berries.
All the way over by the outhouse.
Yeah. She really loves it. You like the straw? Come here. Look at how she's rubbing her face in the straw.
You like the straw?
You like the smell? What is it? I still have to put straw all over this section. We just picked some up the other day, but Drew's mom planted some potatoes for us, and these are the potatoes. They grew so much. I think this drip line is what's making all the difference. Look
See
right
the little
there.
drips?
Yeah, it's so amazing. This used to have to be done like bucket by bucket. Whoa! Whoa! When did that happen? When did this happen? I swear they were like the size of pickles. Tiny pickles.
Look at that zucchini.
What? That happened literally overnight. We should time lapse our vegetables.
Wow.
Smells really good in here. Look at this leaf. This leaf is like dinosaur.
It's like as big as you.
Wow. And guys, once our tomatoes are popping, we're gonna be friggin' swimming in tomatoes. And the comfrey. Huh. This is also growing out of control. It's a very healthy, happy, well-watered garden.
I mean, look at our onions too.
Yeah, everything. And I've just been pulling the lettuce leaves from around the edges like you guys suggested, so
This
thank
one
you.
and this one, you can see they're coming back after you sheared them off.
So thank you guys for sticking around to the very end of this episode. Drop us a heart in the comments if you stuck around to the very end. It means a lot to us. We love you guys.
Yeah, and we're so stoked to have an amazing garden this summer.
Wow, lots of beautiful fruits and veg and hopefully recipes to be able to share with you guys in the future.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for another episode to watch the one that will drop for you right here. It is an oldie but a goodie.
All right, we gotta get cooking. We got some delicious zucchini to. There you go, guys.
So